My name is Natalie Whitmore. I'm 39 years old. And the night my marriage ended didn't start with screaming or slammed doors. It started with a text message sent from 15 feet away. "Don't wait up, boys' night. You wouldn't belong anyway." At first, I thought I'd misread it. The words sat there on my phone, casual and dismissive, like an afterthought, like he'd typed it with one hand while checking his reflection in the hallway mirror. I looked up. My husband, Ethan Whitmore, was still standing near the front door, adjusting his jacket, phone glowing in his palm. He didn't look back at me, didn't notice the way my chest tightened or how my fingers curled around the edge of the kitchen counter to steady myself. We'd been married for 12 years, together for 14. On paper, our life was impressive. 2 solid careers, a house we bought before the market exploded, a daughter who just turned 8 and still believed adults always told the truth. People loved us at dinner parties, the balanced couple, the ones who made marriage look manageable. But something had been wrong for months. Longer, if I was being honest. It started with the comments. Little ones, sharp ones. The way I folded laundry, how I talked to our daughter, the way I dressed. "Are you really wearing that again?" "She needs more structure, Natalie. You're too soft." "Do you ever think about doing something with your hair?" At first, I brushed it off. Everyone snaps sometimes. Stress, work, life. Then came the distance. Boys' night became weekly, sometimes twice a week. When I asked where they were going, he'd wave it off. "Just meeting up." "You wouldn't like the place." "Why does it matter?" And when I suggested we do something together, there was always a reason not to. Too tired, already made plans, needed space. I felt like I was being edited out of my own marriage. Quietly, efficiently. That Friday evening, I was at the dining table with our daughter, surrounded by construction paper and glue sticks, helping her finish a solar system project. Ethan came downstairs around 7. He looked different, dressed sharper than usual, new jacket, hair styled, the kind of effort he used to reserve for anniversaries. "You look nice," I said, cutting out a cardboard Saturn. "Thanks," he replied, eyes never leaving his phone. "Where are you headed?" "Boys' night, I told you." "Right, where?" "That new cocktail lounge downtown." "Just making conversation." He finally looked at me, irritation flickering across his face. "Do you need a full itinerary?" "No, Well, don't be interested, it's my night." He checked himself in the hallway mirror, grabbed his keys. Then my phone buzzed. The text. I read it twice. "You just texted me that I wouldn't belong," I said quietly. He shrugged. "I'm being honest, my friends are different, more cultured." Cultured? They read. Talk about real things. You'd be bored. Something in his tone told me he wanted a fight. I didn't give him one. "Have fun," I said. He hesitated just a second, like he was disappointed. Then he left. I watched from the window as he backed out of the driveway, phone already pressed to his ear. That night, after my daughter was asleep, I sat alone in my office, staring at my laptop. That text echoed in my head. "You wouldn't belong anyway." And that's when I remembered it. The file we both forgot existed. I hadn't thought about the cloud account in years. We created it 5 years ago, back when buying a house felt like the biggest adult decision of our lives. Mortgage paperwork, tax returns, insurance policies. Everything scanned and uploaded so either of us could access it in an emergency. Once we closed on the house, we stopped using it. Or at least I did. Sitting alone in my office, the house quiet except for the hum of the refrigerator downstairs, I typed in the old email address out of habit. My browser auto-filled the password before I even had time to think about whether I should stop. It logged me in immediately. I expected dust. Digital cobwebs, old PDFs dated years back. Instead, the screen filled with folders. Dozens of them, all time-stamped within the last 8 months. My stomach tightened. I clicked the first one. Photos. Hundreds of them. Ethan at restaurants I didn't recognize. Bars I'd never heard of. Rooftops with city lights glowing behind him. He looked relaxed, happy, alive in a way I hadn't seen at home in a long time. And in almost every photo, the same woman, mid-30s, dark hair, stylish in an effortless way that suggested money and confidence, always close to him. Her hand resting on his arm, his fingers hooked casually at her waist. In one photo, they were laughing, foreheads nearly touching. In another, they were kissing. Not a quick peck, not a mistake. A deliberate practice kiss. I stared at the screen, my pulse pounding so loudly I could hear it in my ears. I closed the folder and opened another. Messages. Screenshots, thousands of them. I didn't read them all at first. I skimmed, enough to understand. Can't wait to see you tonight. Last night was amazing. You make me feel alive again. She's so predictable, so boring. Soon, I promise. I just need to figure out the logistics. Logistics. I swallowed hard. There were references to hotels, weekend trips, inside jokes I'd never heard, plans for a future that didn't include me or our daughter. Then I opened the folder that made my hands go numb. Legal. PDFs from a divorce attorney. Consultation notes. Asset division estimates. Custody projections. He hadn't just been cheating. He'd been planning. For months. I sat there for over 2 hours, reading until the words blurred, until betrayal stopped feeling sharp and started feeling heavy, settled. When I finally leaned back in my chair, something inside me had shifted. Not anger. Not even grief. Clarity. He hadn't made a mistake. He'd made a strategy. That's when I noticed the account settings tab. A feature we'd never used before. Activity notifications. I clicked it on. From now on, every time someone accessed the account, uploaded a file, or opened a folder, I'd know. I didn't feel sneaky. I felt prepared. At 11:32 p.m., my phone buzzed. Shared account activity detected. Ethan had logged in. I watched in real time as a folder titled Weekend Plans appeared. Photos uploaded. I opened them. The same woman. The same wine bar he'd mentioned earlier. His hand on her thigh, visible in the reflection of the window behind them. My phone buzzed again. A text from him. Staying out later than planned. Don't wait up. Another notification. More photos. Outside now. Street lights. His car. Him opening the door for her. Then, one last upload. A hotel key card. Time stamped 30 minutes earlier. Room number visible. I sat in the dark, the glow of my laptop illuminating evidence he didn't realize I was seeing. And something cold settled in my chest. This wasn't just heartbreak anymore. It was information. I didn't sleep. I sat there long after the laptop screen dimmed, long after my phone stopped buzzing, listening to the house settle around me. The same house we'd chosen together. The same walls that had held birthday mornings and quiet Sunday breakfasts and arguments that always ended with, "We'll figure it out." Around 3 a.m., headlights swept across the living room. The front door opened. Jesus, Ethan gasped when he saw me sitting on the couch, lights off. "You scared the hell out of me. Why are you sitting in the dark?" "Couldn't sleep." "Well, that's creepy. You've been doing that a lot lately." I said nothing. He kicked off his shoes, dropped his keys, loosened his jacket. "How was boys' night?" I asked. "Fine, good. We had fun." "Where'd you end up?" "The lounge, I told you." "Just the lounge?" He sighed, already annoyed. "Why are you interrogating me?" "I'm not. I'm asking." "We went a couple places, lost track of time." "What places?" "I don't remember their names. Does it matter?" "No," I said quietly. "I guess it doesn't." He studied my face, squinting in the dim light from the hallway. "You okay? You're being weird." "I'm fine, just tired." "Then go to bed." He turned toward the stairs. "How's she doing?" I asked. He froze. "What?" "The woman you've been seeing. How's she doing?" Slowly, he turned back to face me. "I don't know what you're talking about." "The cloud account," I said. "The one we set up when we bought the house. You've been uploading everything there. Photos, messages, legal documents." His face drained of color. "You've been spying on me?" "It's a shared account." "You had no right." "I had every right, and you were careless." Silence stretched between us. Then he sat down on the stairs like his legs gave out. "How long?" he asked quietly. "Since tonight, since you left." His hands went to his face. "Oh my God. I watched you upload photos in real time. The wine bar, the street, the hotel key card." He didn't deny it. That hurt more than I expected. "You want to explain?" I said, "or should I keep reading?" When he finally spoke, his voice was small. "It's been 8 months." 8. "How long were you planning this?" He hesitated. "I don't know. I've been unhappy for a long time." "So you cheated?" "I fell in love. With someone who isn't your wife. You and we've just been going through the motions. No passion, no excitement." "And that made this okay?" He looked at me, frustrated. "When was the last time you actually listened to me? When was the last time you planned something just for us?" "I've been here," I said, "every day, taking care of our daughter, our home." "You've been present," he replied, "not engaged." The word stung. "How often do you see her?" 2 or 3 times a week. "And our daughter? Where does she think you are?" "Boys' nights, work events." "So you've been lying to her too." "I've been living my life." "Our life," I corrected. "She's 8. We talked until the sky began to lighten. Or rather, he talked. How they met at a conference, how it started as friendship, how it escalated. How she made him feel seen, how he wasn't sure if he loved me anymore. When I asked what he wanted to do now, his answer was immediate. "I was planning to ask for a divorce, just later." How much later? A year, maybe 2. So I was supposed to wait, smile, play the fool. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just felt something settle into place. The marriage I thought I was fighting for had already ended. I was the last one to know. The days after that night blurred together in a way I still have trouble describing. We moved through the same house like strangers. Polite, careful, exhausted. Ethan took the guest room without discussion. I didn't ask him to. He didn't ask if it was okay. It was as if we both understood that sharing a bed after everything he'd told me would have been a kind of performance neither of us could stomach. We spoke only when necessary. Schedules, our daughter's homework, who was picking her up, nothing else. And still he kept going out. Still calling them boys' nights. Still leaving in the evenings dressed better than he ever had for me. Still uploading photos to the cloud account like muscle memory had taken over and he'd forgotten I existed in that space at all. Or maybe he hadn't forgotten. Maybe he just didn't care anymore. 5 days after the confrontation, I was tucking our daughter into bed when she asked the question I'd been dreading. Why aren't you and Daddy sleeping in the same room? My throat tightened. We're just having some grown-up disagreements, I said carefully. Sometimes adults need space to think. She stared at the ceiling for a moment. Are you getting divorced? The word landed heavier than any accusation Ethan had thrown at me. I don't know yet, sweetheart, I said honestly. Maybe. She was quiet. Then, softly, will I still see both of you every day? No matter what happens, I said, brushing her hair back, you will always have both of us. She nodded, accepting that with the kind of fragile trust only children are capable of. Then she added, almost as an afterthought, Mom, Daddy's been going out a lot. I know. He says it's boys' night, she said, then frowned. But I heard him on the phone once. He was talking to a lady. He sounded happy. I didn't know what to say. Sometimes silence is the only way to avoid lying. I love you, she said instead, wrapping her arms around my neck. I love you too, I whispered, holding her like I could somehow shield her from the fracture already running through her life. 2 weeks after everything came apart, Ethan finally said the words out loud. I want a divorce. He said it calmly, like a decision he'd already rehearsed. I'm leaving, he continued. I'm moving in with her. I want shared custody, 50-50. You're moving in with her already? We've been together 8 months. We know what we want. Does our daughter know her? Not yet, but she will. She wants to meet her. No, I said immediately. Absolutely not. Not until this is settled. You can't keep her from my girlfriend forever. I'm not keeping her from anyone. I'm protecting her from being introduced to your affair partner while we're still legally married. She's not my affair partner, he snapped. She's my girlfriend. 3 days later, while our daughter was at school, Ethan packed his things. He left a note for her on the kitchen counter. Something vague, something gentle. Mommy and daddy language that explained nothing and softened everything. That night, our daughter cried herself to sleep in my arms. And I sat there in the dark, listening to her breathe, knowing that no matter what happened next, I would be the one holding what he'd broken. The divorce moved faster than I expected. Once Ethan left, the pretending stopped. There were no more shared dinners, no careful conversations about maybe working things out. Everything became logistical. Emails, calendars, lawyers. He wanted 50-50 custody. I wanted stability for our daughter. My attorney was honest with me. Courts don't like punishing parents for infidelity, she said. They like balance, routine. During mediation, Ethan's lawyer brought up the cloud account, accused me of violating his privacy. My lawyer didn't flinch. It was a shared account, she said calmly. Both parties had equal access. Mr. Whitmore voluntarily uploaded documentation of his relationship. The mediator rubbed his temples. Let's keep this out of court, he said. Dragging this into public record won't help anyone, especially the child. We settled on 60-40. Our daughter would be with me during the week, with Ethan on weekends. Child support was minimal. We earned similar incomes. Assets split evenly. 12 years of marriage reduced to signatures and stamped paperwork in less than an hour. Ethan moved in with her officially a month later. He introduced her to our daughter soon after. The first weekend she came home from their place, she told me everything. She seems nice, she said carefully. She has a big TV. She lets me pick movies. I smiled, nodded, then went into the bathroom and threw up. Over the next few months, cracks started appearing. Our daughter mentioned arguments, raised voices, doors closing too hard. She gets sad sometimes, my daughter said once. Daddy tells her to calm down. 3 months after they moved in together, Ethan called me late at night. I think I made a mistake. What kind of mistake? Moving in with her, this whole thing. I waited. It's not exciting anymore, he admitted. She doesn't like having our daughter around, says she's disruptive. And I miss us, our family. The silence stretched. I can't undo what you did, I said finally. I was confused. You were decisive, I corrected, for 8 months. So that's it? He asked. You're just done? I was done the night I watched you upload hotel photos while I was helping our daughter with homework. He cried. I didn't. It's been 7 months since the divorce was finalized. I'm in therapy. So is our daughter. We have routines now. New ones. Quieter ones. I'm not dating. But I'm not lost either. Looking back, that text, "You wouldn't belong anyway," was the truest thing Ethan ever said to me. I didn't belong in his world of lies. I belonged somewhere honest. That forgotten cloud account didn't ruin my marriage. It revealed it.